Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I would like to say thank you to everyone for coming in this presentation, especially to Mr. Andriana Gofar for the chance that given to our group today. First, let me introduce the member of the group. There are Ningsri, Yusuf Fajar, Jenanti Tahta, and me, Nazifa Madina. So here's the list of the material presentation. First is about undefining culture. Second is about approach to the study of culture. The third is about McDonaldization or local globalization. And the last but not least is about models of culture. Without further ado, let's do the presentation. First material is about undefining culture, will be explained by me. So, exploring the complexity of cultural definition. There are elusiveness of cultural definition. Culture is a complex concept, and while people understand it within their cultural affiliation, its precise definition remains elusive. Its mean culture is a term that is difficult to define. Some people think of it as a manifestation of a country or nation, while others associate it with the ideology, ethnicity, or region. There are various definitions of culture, including one by Edward Barnett Taylor, who considered culture as the complex whole that includes knowledge, belief, art, moral, law, custom, and other abilities that have been acquired by man as a member of society. Next is historical attempt at definition. There are American anthropologists Kober and Clarkon compiled 164 definition of culture in 1952 with their own definition emphasizing pattern of behavior, symbol, and values. Despite numerous attempts, there was no consensus on its nature among anthropologists in the 1990s. Next is the first perspective on culture. Various groups and individuals have different suggestions regarding the concept of culture, making it a multifaceted and evolving concept. Next is importance of definition. Defining culture is essential because it shapes how culture is perceived and taught. So different definition can lead to various approach in teaching culture. And next is two definition of culture. The passage presents two definition. One focus on high culture with a capital C, and other on culture lifestyle, encompassing ideas, custom, and art of a society. And next is internal versus external culture. The book discusses culture as an internal collective and acquired concept rather than something learned by formality. It's about the conscious and acquisition of the language, behavior, values, and belief through informal observation. And next is shared mental model. The proposed definition of culture is based on a shared mental model or map of the world focused on the what goes without being said and the normal way of life. And the last is culture dimension. Gail Robinson categorizes culture definition into external behavior, product, and internal ideas, and this definition can be seen through different approaches like behaviorist, functionalist, cognitive, and dynamic. So there are various approaches to understanding culture, including behavioral, functional, cognitive, and dynamic approach. Each of these approaches will influence the teaching style and content of a culture course. So that's it for me. The next material is about approach to the study of culture. Will be presented by Rahma. To Rahma, time and screen is yours.
Okay, now I will explain about the second material of this presentation. It's about approaches the study of culture. In this material, I have 4 points, and the first I will explain about behaviorists. The behaviorist perspective studies culture by examining behaviors that can be observed in a particular context and analyzing how cultural norms, practice, and value influence open action and reaction in society, as illustrated in Peter Bromshead books. Jadi seperti yang telah kita ketahui bahwa behaviors ini merupakan teori atau pendekatan psikologis yang berfokus pada suatu perilaku. Nah, dalam mempelajari konteks budaya, perspektif behavioris akan menekankan pemeriksaan tindakan, reaksi, dan tanggapan terbuka baik individu maupun kelompok dalam konteks budaya tertentu. And the second point is functionalism. Functionalist culture theory examines how custom, norms, and tradition maintain social cohesion and order. It views culture as a system with various acts, emphasizing the positive function of the culture practice in maintaining social harmony. Functionalist method looks at behaviors through the lens of culture. Nah, jadi dalam konteks mempelajari budaya, kaum fungsionalis mengkaji bagaimana unsur-unsur budaya seperti adat istiadat, norma, dan tradisi menjalankan fungsi tertentu dalam masyarakat. Mereka meyakini bahwa unsur budaya tersebut berperan dalam menjaga kohesi, ketertiban, dan keseimbangan sosial. The third point is a cognitive. Cognitive perspective studies how individuals perceive, think, and understand a culture, focusing on mental process like perception, memory, problem solving, and decision making. It examines how individuals acquire information, make sense of their environment, and internalize culture, norms, and values. Nah, dalam konteks mempelajari budaya, perspektif kognitif ini mengacu pada pendekatan yang berfokus pada bagaimana individu dalam suatu budaya memandang, berpikir, dan memahami dunia di sekitar mereka. Ini menekankan peran proses mental seperti persepsi, ingatan, pemecahan masalah, dan pengambilan keputusan dalam membentuk keyakinan budaya, sikap, dan perilaku. And the last point is a dynamic. Dynamic culture studies emphasize that culture are constantly evolving and adapting due to factors like historical events, globalization, technological advancement, and interaction with other cultures. Nah, jadi dinamis dalam konteks mempelajari budaya mengacu pada gagasan bahwa budaya tidak statis dan tidak berubah, tetapi terus berkembang dan beradaptasi seiring dengan berjalannya waktu. Nah, pendekatan dinamis terhadap studi budaya mengakui bahwa budaya dipengaruhi oleh berbagai faktor seperti sejarah, globalisasi, kemajuan teknologi, dan interaksi terhadap budaya lain atau budaya luar. Okay, maybe my explanation about this matter is enough. I return to moderator. Thank you.
Thank you to Rahma for your explanation. The third material is about McDonaldization or local globalization will be explained by Tahta. To Tahta, time and screen is yours.
Okay, thank you for the moderator for what we need to explain this material. The next material is McDonaldization and local globalization. Now, the question is how do McDonaldization and local globalization influence our understanding and sharing of culture? Surprisingly, McDonaldization and local globalization have a significant impact on how we perceive and exchange culture. How is this possible? I'll break it down right now. McDonaldization is like making everything the same everywhere, just like fast food. It can be applied to culture in this case. McDonaldization is a concept proposed by Joe Reiser. It refers to dominance of fast food restaurants visible like McDonald's in various sectors of American society and around the world. This theory consists of 4 main principles: efficiency, calculability, predictability, and control. Efficiency in the McDonald's system, the goal is to provide services that are not only fast but also efficient. This emphasizes how speed can assist the spread of culture. The second one is measurability. Measurability pertains to the aspect of the product or service that can be quantified. This underscores the importance of considering measurable factors when evaluating the quality and value of culture, which can influence how it spreads. The third is predictability. One significant aspect of McDonaldization is the degree to which its products are predictable. People can anticipate the same experience in different regions, allowing us to experience the same culture even when in different locations. And the last is control. The control principle involves the strict adherence to rules in performing tasks. This standardization ensures that every part of operation complies with specific guidelines and rules, promoting consistency in the customer experience and aiding in the spread of culture. Okay, the next one is local globalization. Local globalization, as the term suggests, is all about the fusion of local culture with global culture. It's a phenomenon that showcases how global products or practice often need to be adapted to cater to the unique preference and taste of local communities. Sometimes, global products or practice need to be adapted to local culture, resulting in local variation. Example, McDonald's menus differ in various countries based on local preference.